Facilities that make this program possible are provided by the City of Highland Park. Programs are produced independently by members of the community. The City of Highland Park is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of the City of Highland Park.
It's a whole half hour.
Go ahead.
Oh, hi, I'm Joyice from the Highland Park Senior Producers, and we have a wonderful guest for you today, Mr. James Lynch. First, I'll tell you about our connection, and then I'll tell you about his great promotion he just had. And James and I, he was my mentor. That's how I got on television to begin with and into acting. Marianne, if you know what that means. But anyway, he's going to tell you. We used to have a show here about 6 years ago. That's how I started with James. We were the twosome, and then we had two guests, all within a half hour. But then James said I could handle it myself, and he got much too popular and proceeded to deal just with me. So, hi, James. Congratulations on your new promotion.
Thank you.
He is now the executive director of the Art Center in Highland Park.
Yep.
He's going to tell you all about the upcoming events that are so far scheduled. And I was in there the other day. Boy, what a change for the children. There was a children's show. Is it still going on?
Yeah.
And he's had other positions here in Highland Park, too. What were the other positions for the city?
So far, I've been on the Cultural Arts Commission, and I was the chair for 2 years on that. And we can get to it later, but we created a 5-year cultural arts plan for the city of Highland Park.
Oh, great.
Before I finished that, I created Highland Park Cultural Arts Network, which is a collaboration of all the arts and cultural program providers in the area, not just Highland Park, but expanding out. And I've produced some small events like Highland Park City Gallery for a while. I helped create Gallery 6035, which was for a few years.
I always followed your activities, I know.
And then a few productions like October Arts Month and things like that in collaboration with other groups.
Do you do art yourself, or are you mainly into acting personally?
Well, my background and my degree is in directing for theater, so I've been an actor in New York,
Didn't you go to
Texas.
DePaul also?
I went to DePaul
I
for
went
my
to DePaul
master's,
for a
and I
while.
got a master's in directing for theater there.
Oh, okay.
And then I worked in Chicago, a lot of black box theaters, in particular National Pastime Theater. I was at the Organic towards the end there. I ran the Greenview Arts Center in Chicago, which is now gone, and we were a rental house and a production house. And as a matter of fact, we produced a version of Shakespeare's The Tempest on the lakefront, and it was a big risk, but it had a big payoff. We had a great audience every time.
Great.
And we set The Tempest, this is crazy, but we set The Tempest as the characters of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, really?
And
oh, my God.
it was a little crazy, but it really worked out. You have the stereotypes.
Was that
of
your idea?
It was my idea. It came to me late one night, obviously, and it turned out really well. So from that, I got involved with the Parks District in Chicago, and I was a drama instructor at Chase Park, which was a once thriving program. It had kind of gotten slow, and originally I went thinking, what a great place for me to have free theater space and run classes and create a community theater, but they said you also have to do a after-school program and a teens program. And I was more reluctant to do that, but it turned out after a couple of years of doing that the kids and the teens was maybe the most rewarding part of the whole thing. It was a neighborhood where there was some troubled kids. You know, it was an okay neighborhood, and it was more on the mend at the time, but the kids came. We created a summer camp. I did a lot of that by bartering with other groups because it was just me. I was a one-man arts department. But I like to say that that was the one facility in the Chicago Parks District where the money and the fees that came in for the arts program actually supplemented the sports programs.
Oh.
Right, so the arts program was actually the highest earning programming in that particular park center when I was there. We even had a summer Shakespeare festival there before I left. We ran it for 2 seasons.
Oh, great! Yeah. And did you seek this position now, or
Which
just
one?
the Art Center one?
Well, actually, the Art Center, our history comes from the Art Center. When I first moved to Highland Park, where my wife was growing up, at the time we had 2 kids, and we moved to Highland Park, and I wanted to stay involved in the arts. I was taking a new job, and I approached Ann Rosen, who was the head of the Art Center at the time.
Yeah.
Created a class called Acting for Non-Actors.
Oh.
And the idea was there were a lot of people who were involved with the arts when they were in high school and college, but afterwards they fell away from it. So I created a class which was friendly for people who'd been out of there for a while. And you were there.
Oh, I didn't miss
other
a
people.
I went to every time you had a new class start. I was
Thank you.
there.
You know,
yeah.
thankfully it was a very popular
and we just
class.
couldn't function without you being there after you left. So we
Well, it
just
ran
gave
for
it
a few
up.
sessions.
Yeah.
And then I created a weekend workshop too. And some of the business owners said, "Could you do this for me for business?" And that was where I was headed anyway. So I went off to do some, produce events and self-leadership and development courses for adults in corporation.
Oh.
So my time ran out. I couldn't do this work at the Art Center, but it was funny because one of the students there said, "Listen, when Ann retires, you should take over." And I went, "Ha."
Yeah,
And this is nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah, because I've been in
And-
Highland Park about 19, 20 years. Yeah.
But I thought, well, it'd be great. What would be a great place to work at the Art Center? And obviously, there's been a few executive directors already. One of them, Gabe Rousseau, is a great friend.
Oh, yes,
She just retired
moved
a
away.
year or so ago and moved away. She was one of the first people to call me and congratulate me.
Oh, was she? Isn't that
yeah.
nice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a really nice person. And did that include your coaching, what you were just talking about? I know you're a coach.
Well, I was
not a sports coach.
not a sports coach, no, an executive
Family.
coach and an executive performance coach. And then what I was doing is I was working with entrepreneurs who are growing a business and taking it to the next level. I worked with family businesses and generational transition because only 30% of family businesses survive the transition from the first generation to the second.
Oh.
And only 12% survive that next turnover. So it just was a niche I fell into where I helped the parents let go and the children step up into leadership roles for companies. And
yeah.
I've been doing that for about 10 years.
Oh.
And then also with a partner, I do corporate leadership training. So those are larger companies, multinationals, and it's leadership and succession
You
training.
were traveling quite a bit.
I travel a little bit, but I was lucky with that I was able to do a lot of it by telephone.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's good.
we do the initial live full-day seminars there. And a lot of the companies we worked at were headquarters in Chicago.
Oh.
So they would fly people in from Ireland and South
Really?
America and stuff for us. I wouldn't have minded the travel. But
Yeah,
they came to
yeah.
us, and
Didn't you
a lot
have
I did.
one-day classes? Even people could do what they want to do if you believe in it or something to that order.
One-day classes.
Yeah, didn't you hold single-day classes even for people?
I've offered a lot of
Or you
variations
tried
over the
and-
years.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
One-day classes I don't really believe in because
Oh.
if I'm going to offer something to somebody,
Yeah,
I
one
want
day, you
to
wanna
give them a
continue
few
and
weeks,
grow
even if
and-
it's every other week.
Yeah,
right, to help them
Okay.
grow.
Okay.
And I'm still doing some coaching with some of
Yeah.
my long-term clients.
Oh, good.
And some of the corporate stuff, I'll take off and spend a day or two with them, and it'll compete with what I'm doing now, but I'll be able to maintain both.
Okay. So you want to tell us now about the Art Center, some of the programs you plan on, or whatever you'd like to discuss about it?
Sure. Well, the Art Center at Highland Park, I don't want to assume that everybody knows that it's there. Actually, I do want to assume that everybody knows. But everybody says, not everybody does know about it.
Yeah.
And back when I was in the Cultural Arts Commission, I was always saying that if people realize what we had here, instead of going down to the city, I have a membership to the Art Institute, and I go to the Cultural Arts, to the Contemporary Arts. We were just there with the family a few weeks ago. But when you see what we actually have here and the level of professionalism that's here on all levels, we got Citadel Theater up here, we got Highland Park Strings, Pilgrim Players.
And Donna, what's her last name?
Donna Lubeau does this great storytelling in
fact,
and around.
Ron, my director, is her cousin, and they hadn't seen each other in like 30 years. I hope I'm quoting right. And they recognized the name here or something. So
and she had a theater company too, and I actually taught a series of acting classes for them for a while.
And how would they hold performances and
they do readings and storytelling. Which is really good.
I was rushing to the train there once and I fell. Had to go to the hospital by ambulance. I haven't been back since because I didn't drive, and I had a concussion. And
wow, sorry to hear that.
I wanted to go on to the show. They wouldn't let me. The train conductor wouldn't let me go.
You wanted to go on to the show?
No, I wanted to go see the show. I didn't want to go to the hospital.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were going to perform, and that would be, the show must go on.
I could say, look what happened. Rushing, I couldn't wait.
Well, they're really something. They're really something to check out. And, it's one of the things that gets me about the Arts Center is that this can be the heart of the community. If you look at our website, it says theartcenterhp.org, but right in the middle there's that word heart. And there's so much that can happen there. I've been there since Wednesday. So if you're going to ask me details about numbers and class numbers and stuff, I'm really not up to speed on it. But what I do know is it's always been a place that's been open and friendly for me to come and produce things. It's got, right now, over 60 teachers working there in various mediums. And little by little, they've been coming up to say hello, and I've been wandering around the building meeting people. And it's the most wonderful place to be. All of the teachers are great.
And they're
very
connected
welcoming.
with the art shows too. The art and jewelry, like somewhere.
There's a few things that happen at the Art Center during the year that are huge for the public. One is well, first of all, right now we just released this. I don't know if I can show that over there. It's the summer camp for that's just now been released, and the great thing about it, even for kids like mine, is that you don't have to go every day. You can pick the topic that you're going to do, and you go and you can really pick and choose what you're going to do. And the registration is open now. And I was looking at it. There's so many things that my kids would like to do. And then we're still on the winter catalog, which I brought to show you that. That's a lovely piece, isn't it? That comes from the Karanecht Gallery. And inside you'll see that a lot of the classes that are, can you see? So there are classes already, it's the winter program, there's classes already in progress, but there's workshops in here, 1 or 2 day workshops. So you don't really have to commit to a whole series of classes. You can try out a day or 2 days.
I didn't know that.
Yep, and we're working on the spring catalog, which will be, we send it to the printers on Friday, and it will look something like that. And what we've done is we listened to the community. Now I'm new, so I'm just learning this. We listened to the community, and we made an adjustment for some of the prices. Right, to make sure that it's affordable and that people don't have to choose one over the other. They can take several courses. So this is a preview. The classes begin April 9th, as you can see there. So there's always something going on. And then just the other night we had an event. It was the District 112, and it was several of the schools and their art.
Yeah, I
So
saw that. Every space was covered.
Every
with
space was
pictures.
covered.
My
Well,
God.
you know, as the new guy
What a
coming in
difference.
Wednesday, I just looked around and I said, "Isn't this such beautiful art?"
Yeah.
And then as I settled in and I got used to my surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
I looked closer at the pictures and I realized that this one said, 9 years old, and another
Oh,
one said
my
11.
gosh.
So I was thinking, what gorgeous art! But these were children,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
from the different schools.
All those were from children, those
And I stuck
pictures.
around that night to see what was going on. Actually, it was the next night. Thursday night was the opening. And I figured a few people walking through. The place was packed all night long.
Really, really.
It was packed all night long, and the parents and the kids were so proud to have
Oh, yeah.
their stuff on the wall. They're taking it down now because we have a really a huge schedule of events there. There's always
Oh.
something changing, always something going on. So if you came last Thursday, let's say, and you come this Thursday or Friday, there's a whole new show being hung.
Is that
right now.
advertised ahead of time? I mean,
Everything. As a matter of fact, it's my job to make sure the word gets out. That's
Oh,
one of
okay.
that's
Yeah.
one of the hats I'll wear.
Yeah.
Is to make sure. Well, it's on our website, by the way, theartcenterhp.org, which people can find, and there's always a schedule of events going. And then these are the different exhibitions and events that are coming up, and it's a preview. There's no dates on here, and I don't know how much of that you can see or in what kind of detail, but if you just see the quality and the variety of the art, there's some really gorgeous pieces that are, these are just the examples of this. But the next one is, I gotta use my other finger, right here, and let me read the title. It's being hung this Friday, March 2nd, but the official opening is March 9th
oh, a week
at
later.
the Art Center, right?
The weekend,
And
like-
it's contemporary Native American art and the journey to America.
Oh, I like Native American.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very well thought out. Karen Rudman is our curator right now, and I have a meeting with her tomorrow because since I've started, she's been away. But the very first thing I said is, how do you keep such a tight schedule of so much going on at an art center? So I'm impressed with what
yeah.
we're doing, and I can't take any credit for any of it.
Well, I'm sure they will pretty soon. I mean, because I'm sure you have wonderful ideas. I mean,
I have great ideas, and
I know that.
I'd like to get to them. But just doing what they've already planned, like the gala, by the way. So the gala is on May 8th. It's a Friday night, and
May,
it is our chance to sort of show off.
why do
right?
they do it Friday night always? It's a weekend, I
There's a lot of
suppose.
choices to the exact right
No,
date.
I
It's
had a
not
reason
always.
for saying that, but I don't want to get into it.
I got it.
I know,
I
you
got
know
it.
what
But
I
this
mean.
year it is. And there's tickets, there's raffle tickets, and there's different food stations, so it's not just like one thing. It's not a sit-down dinner where you have to listen
Oh.
to speeches like that. It's very dynamic. It's
Oh.
very fun. We have performers mingling in and out of the crowd. We have
Oh,
different
good.
pieces of art up. We have a
I'm sure you've given them
silent raffle.
a lot of ideas already they've gotten from you. I know.
I'll
How
give
you
them plenty of
think, you know.
ideas, but I got to say, between when I came in, first of all, I had to interview with the board. And I know
Yeah.
several of the people on the board, and I've been involved in not-for-profits before, but the board at the Art Center is a healthy, strong, collaborative, involved group. They are people who, some of them are artists themselves, some of them are students, some of them are teachers.
They put their heart and soul into it, correct?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Everyone I met, they tried to say, this is going to be a hard job, and are you sure you want to take
You
it?
can handle it.
But, well, yes, I think I can handle it because of my experience.
Yes, yeah.
But when I look at the team that's there, and that was just the board. So then I met the members of the team that are working there right now, and you will not believe how few people are full-time employees that make this place work.
Oh, right.
And they've been carrying on this and doing so many things. The very first day, I literally left with a headache.
Did you?
I
Oh.
started on Wednesday, and I went Sunday to organize my files and get it ready. And there was just so much to absorb. But
Oh, yeah.
there's so many people doing great stuff there. But one of the things about an organization is you go in there and it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. Everybody does it with such with a great attitude and with grace. And that's one of the great things about it. From the receptionist who meets people, who's also an artist herself.
I know. I was trying to reach her there like a day before it was announced and everything, and they were so nice, and they told me to come in without an appointment to speak to you. I mean, it was all, we had talked already, but they were very pleasant. That's very important, very important.
And it's not that what they're showing to the public alone. We treat each other that way, which is great.
Well, yeah, I noticed because I knew the president of the board, and she's such a great person.
Gwen
and I saw, Gwen. She doesn't go to religious service anymore. She's just too busy with the art center.
Well, she's involved.
Yeah,
and she's very helpful, and she'll just drop in and.
I know. She's a very nice. I know her for quite a few years.
Right. Well, it's what you want. So when I was thinking
it's
about
important.
it as a role to take on, knowing that I live in this community and I'm so involved in the community, if you're going to take on a role like this, you want to make sure that everything's in place. So that, but
I was so glad you could get away for our interview today because I know how
I
busy
couldn't.
you are.
I'm so busy I shouldn't be here.
And I canceled something too just to have you
No,
on.
no.
I did.
You know what? I thank you. I thank this whole organization here because you've always been really good to us. The Cultural Arts Network. We call it HPCAN, and it's the Highland Park Cultural Arts Network.
I remember that.
And it's a collaboration of all the different arts groups so that we can talk about things that are common to all of us. So it's been a little passive lately because of me, because I've been busy doing other things. But when we first put that together, you and everybody here gave us time to talk about each and every individual group. That's what you were talking about before. I came on with Beth Keller from the library, came on with Alan from the symphony, the training school for children. What is it? The Midwest Young Arts.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember
And
them.
both
Are
of
they
the
over
both of the
at Fort
dance.
Sheridan or something?
Yeah.
In the stables, like or something.
Both of the
I had
ballet
them on
schools, the
TV,
dance
and
programs.
them on.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of them on. Yeah.
Right.
But you're the heart of it now, hopefully.
You know, I said it before. I don't know if I finished making the point, but if people want really good arts programming, you don't have to go down to Chicago and face the traffic. It's all here. As a matter of fact, one of the people that I plan to be talking to very shortly is Michael Halverson from Writers Theater.
Oh yeah,
You know, if
are they in Glencoe or something?
they're
Or
in
they
Glencoe,
were,
right?
or
At
something?
at the what was it? It was the library and the women's building. I don't remember the name of the old building, but Writers Theater started as in the back room of a bookshop, and it's grown to what it is. So what's possible on the North Shore, Highland Park, and for our surrounding areas is to be that center of really excellent cultural programming so that people don't need to drive down to Chicago if they don't want to.
Yeah, I know the new art center, it's been there quite a few years now, but when we had our acting classes there, it was a block away, and somebody I know said, "What are you doing in that old funeral home?" It used to be a funeral home.
And it's,
so then once they built the new building.
Right.
And then
it was such a tiny building, you're right.
That
they had classes
we'd
and
act
survived
on the
it all.
floor, lay on the floor and everything,
Right, right.
It was right by Norton's restaurant, wasn't it?
Right by Norton's.
Yeah. Then we put on something next door to the art center too, the old
At the
women's
community
club.
house.
I keep calling it the old women's home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice campus there. Right? One of the other things that we do at the art center is we have space available for meetings, for corporate off-site meetings, and for any kind of event. We have huge space. If we can fit it in with our galleries and everything, it's a lovely place to hold things. So community houses next door, they'll do a bigger event, but anything mid-size, and there are several rooms, including the one room we call it the fireplace room. Do you know where I'm talking about? As you come in, it's off to the left. It's a really gorgeous room for meetings.
Got a lot of rooms.
We'd like to have a lot more corporate events and have more, just sort of more traffic in there so that more people get used to coming there and coming there often.
I wanted to bring, I took some voiceover classes in Chicago, and she wanted to come and teach something at the Art Center, and whoever was there then said, we have Apple Tree and what was that other one? And Highwood, we don't need any more teachers at the time, maybe now.
Bring them now.
Yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
contact her.
There's a
again.
lot of people. Again, I started Wednesday and it's Tuesday, right? There's a lot of people who have already come to me and said,
Oh.
I can offer this kind of program and that kind of program. We're looking at it all.
Yeah, I haven't been going there for a couple of years now, but I'll try and contact her and see if she's interested.
So I want to talk a little bit about Mindy Taberry, who is our manager of education
Oh,
right now,
oh.
and she is the one who coordinates all the classes and all of the schedule and works out with me and with the CFO the pricing, and she's done it all without me up till now, but she has a curriculum concept already. And people who bring things into us,
okay.
we're going to look and we're going to see if it fits in.
At the time, they didn't need anyone, I guess, but
You know what?
Tree's gone.
I am interested in talking to anybody who has an idea,
Okay,
who has
okay.
something to bring.
Yeah.
If we can,
voiceovers.
we can get that class.
Is that what I said? Yeah.
Voiceovers would be fun. You know, up till now, the focus has been on the visual arts.
Yeah, because we were meeting at the public library in Chicago for our classes at the time. But I'd have to go downtown.
No, that's a
on
natural for
Saturday,
there.
yeah.
You know, but as I was saying, you know, they have been focusing on the visual arts, but I'd like to expand it a little bit to what we can for performative arts.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
'cause
that
there's not
means,
enough of that here, I don't think.
Well, we did a little bit
Yeah, I
with
know.
the courses that I taught,
Yeah,
and then
oh, yeah.
Gabe had invited me back again, but it was just undoable
Uh-huh.
at the time. But now that I'm there, I would like to see that. I'd like to see some
Oh,
readers
yeah,
theater,
that would be good.
some regular scheduled events like a Thursday night
Oh, yeah,
event. So
yeah.
anybody who has ideas,
And
know,
I
it's
like
not
improv, but they don't have adult improv classes.
there is an improv
There
company
was,
in residence at Community House.
Yeah, but they don't have adults, I don't think. I took it a few
I don't know.
years
I'd have
ago.
to check it out for you.
Yeah,
but if you want a
because-
course,
Yeah, because the adult one is in Libertyville or somewhere, I think. I'll find out again, because he wanted to, they couldn't get enough adults, I guess.
well, that's always the problem.
Yeah,
right?
that was
So
the problem.
what I would like to do is just to make sure that everybody that's watching or that hears about this through you or through the network or anything
Yeah,
like that,
or
just takes
you're
time.
also on
Just
YouTube.
stop by.
You're going to be on YouTube
On YouTube?
also.
Great.
30
Yeah.
Minutes with Joyice, I guess.
Okay.
And,
So I invite people to stop by, take a walk
okay,
through the
very
gallery,
good,
see what's
very
there,
good,
stop by my
excellent.
office.
Yeah, we're
We'll
almost
tell
out
them
of
what's
time.
going on.
Can you
How much
believe
time
it?
do we have?
About a minute.
About a minute.
Anything.
So could I say the address, 1957 Sheridan Road
Sure.
in Highland Park?
Okay.
All right.
That's good. And the phone number's listed.
Phone number is listed, and it's the artcenterhp.org. And we're open Monday through Saturday. Sunday we have events, and we will open for people who want to come in and
Look around and
need
stuff.
to look around, as long as they give me a little.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Money's always
I'm a
important for the
comedian.
arts,
I
but
didn't
it's the
say
value
that.
we
I
bring.
didn't mention that. You didn't hear
It's
that.
about value,
Yeah.
and the value
You
to
get
the
what you
city
pay
of
for.
Highland Park
I don't
that
believe
it
that. I
brings
buy
people
on
in.
sale. I was in retail too long.
Well,
Okay,
thank you for
thank you
saying
so
that.
much for.
It was my pleasure. It went by
thank
like
you.
nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, and
you so
maybe
much.
we'll have you again and see how it's progressed with you. You're the greatest.
Thank you.
I pick my mentors very carefully.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James.
My
nice
pleasure.
to see you. And thank everyone for watching.
Thank you.
and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on.
Great.
Okay. And boy, that was a long minute. So good. Anyway, so good luck, and I'm sure you'll do well. And we'll just wait.